What's up, Block fam? Welcome to today's episode. Joining me in this episode, we've got Justin James, Iron J Moto, editor extraordinaire, and we're going to connect up via Senna's. We're going to join via mesh, so this episode brought to you in part by
Phone Connected.
In today's video, we are doing a comparison that many of you guys have asked for that I've actually been very curious about. So we've got the brand new Harley-Davidson Sportster S with the 1250cc Revolution Max engine in it. For those of you that don't know, this engine from Harley-Davidson is liquid cooled, dual overhead cam design, variable valve timing, valve lashing, so never have to do any adjustment on the valves. And that's a 2-cylinder, 60-degree, 1250cc, 6-speed transmission as well. And the price tag on this bike, brand new, is ka-ching, right there on the screen. Now over here, we have a 2021 Yamaha MT-09 SP. This is one of the bikes that I bought a while back because I was wanting something that was a naked upright just for the seating position. The ergonomics are really great. Now this bike, for the value, in my opinion, is awesome. It's one of the reasons that I bought it. You've got dual disc front brakes, inverted front forks, cruise control, quick shifter, auto blipper, 6-axis IMU, traction control, ABS, the works on this damn thing, all for this price right here. Cha-ching! The cool thing though is the power in them feels similar. Whenever I was waiting for the MT-09 SP to come out, I was actually waiting for Harley-Davidson to release the Bronx. Now the Bronx was planned to be released by Harley-Davidson, but they took it back. Unfortunately, it was one of those bikes that a lot of us were wanting, myself included. A lot of people were looking forward to that from Harley-Davidson, so unfortunately they did end up taking that back. We don't know if they're ever going to release it. There is no release date or anything on it. We are all hopeful that they will one day release it, but it is currently unknown. If you guys didn't see a previous episode, Harley-Davidson did give us this motorcycle, and they said that we could do whatever we wanted to it. So we're going to build this bike into what the Bronx should have been. So yeah, we're going to take the Sportster S platform and we're going to build it into a hyper naked. So if you guys are interested in keeping up with that, be sure to hit the subscribe button and check out those future build episodes. So in this episode, we're just basically going to do a compare and contrast on these two in terms of the ergonomics, the power, the handling, just overall comfort, the features that it has. Let's go ahead. We'll warp to our Walking Dead spot, which I know will be a favorite for you because it's a really good photo spot. Have you ever ridden either one of these?
I've rode both, yes. I haven't rode this one specifically, but I've been on a Sportster S and I've rode your MT-09 SP.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and ride this one first, and then once we get to the spot, we'll do a swap, and then you can ride this one so we can get your first thoughts and feedback on the Sportster S. All right. All right, guys, we're here at the Walking Dead spot. We call it that because it looks
sketchy.
Pretty obvious. You expect zombies to pop out of the palmettos over here. All right, so we've ridden here to the spot. So now Justin and I are going to swap bikes. He does have experience on the MT-09, so I'm interested in getting his first thoughts and reactions on the new Harley-Davidson Sportster S. And then we're gonna basically ride down the road. We do both need gas, so we're gonna swap at the gas station and then come back. And then after we swap and we're on the way back, we'll close out with our thoughts. So go ahead, get on the motorcycle. How tall are you?
I am 5'6".
5'6". All right, so this is what 5'6" looks like on the Harley-Davidson Sportster S. Not quite flat. On the balls, nope. On the balls of your feet? On
the balls, yeah. On both sides, too.
All right, and then right leg up. What is that? How do you feel with the right leg up?
Yeah, good.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Cool. Everything's within reach.
Yeah, it actually feels really good with those controls right there. At least for my size, it's nice.
So the seat height on the MT-09 does feel taller. So how did you feel while on that, coming to a stop?
So on that one, it's definitely way taller. And so my feet are tiptoes on that one. And I have to do the flamingo at stoplights for that.
The flamingo.
Yeah, but for both bikes, once you're on them, it does feel really good. It's just when you're at a stop. So when you're at a stop for this one, I'm on the balls. On that one, I'm on pretty much my tippy toes.
So I rode that bike here, right? And now I'm getting on the MT-09. First thing I'm noticing is the weight. Getting this thing up off the kickstand, insanely lightweight.
Yep, this one's definitely heavier.
So with this one, I've got it in drive mode 2 and TCS mode 2. So that's kind of mild. It's got 4 modes. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 being the most aggressive, 4 being the least aggressive, more like rain mode. And then TCS modes, I want to say you've got 1, 2, and M. So I'm going to leave it in 2 because it's the medium invasive, and then drive mode 2. So that's basically going to keep the front wheel on the ground. So the big big comparison between these two bikes is more so the engine instead of like the ergonomics, which is one of the things that I wanted to focus on, was like kind of the performance, how the power is delivered on a liquid-cooled 1250cc Harley-Davidson versus a liquid-cooled sub 1000cc Yamaha. So Yamaha's been in the liquid-cooled game for a long time, this being a 3-cylinder, so less displacement but one extra cylinder. And so like, how does that like change power delivery? The MT-09 is a torquey beast, but that bike is also incredibly torquey.
Yeah, I kind of want to throttle it down to feel that, because that thing obviously has so much power.
Yeah, but technically this has less power than the Sportster S.
Huh. Interesting.
On paper anyways. And he's gone.
Yeah, this thing is definitely pretty fast.
Yeah, we'll have to let this car kind of get ahead a little bit and do a couple of pulls. So I guess we can go ahead and talk about ergonomics between the two. So like, if any of you guys are out there that are possibly considering liquid cooled with the power range that these kind of are similar or share, ergonomics wise, the MT-09, incredibly comfortable. I've done a full test ride review video of this thing. It's one of the motorcycles that I ended up purchasing because of the comfort, the power, like just the full package. Like I was saying earlier, you know, it's got cruise control built in, modes, TCS modes. You can turn it off as well. Oh no.
Looks like we're have to go left.
Detour. Yep. Basically, change the TCS modes. You've got a fully colored TFT display here, so you've got RPMs up top. If you guys are looking for those like really hyper detailed specs on this bike though, after this video, like I said, be sure to go check out that full test ride and review video of it. I've been nothing but happy with this motorcycle. Like the fact that it has the quick shifter, the auto blipper comes with it, like it's just amazing. It's funny because I haven't changed out the exhaust on this thing yet. I need to, in order to like really open it up and hear it a bit. The triples, man, they sound good too.
I would love to hear that bike with an exhaust on it.
Yeah, I would also love to hear that bike with some exhaust on it. It's one of the things that we do have planned and in the works. Exhaust will probably be one of those first things to go. Being a, you know, 60-degree V-twin versus the previous, you know, Harley, what was it, a 45-degree V-twin? Like, it's not going to sound the same just because of like the way the firing order. How do you feel on the bike thus far?
I mean, so for being short, it's not too bad. I could see after a while this would definitely get uncomfortable because my back is obviously kind of scrunched forward a little bit. And then you have, I mean, do they consider this mid controls or like mid forwards? Or?
Those are considered forward controls.
Oh, just straight forward. Yeah. So having forwards and then like the low bars, you know, it's comfortable for now. But again, I could imagine after maybe an hour, I'd probably feel it in my back a little bit.
Yeah. Auto blipper. Auto blipper.
I wish I had that.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, guys, for the price on the MT-09, I just feel like it can't be beat in terms of like the amount that you get with this motorcycle for the price tag. But we want to focus mainly on like the overall feel of the power delivery of the engine. And so once we get to a point where we can have Justin like do a couple little pulls on it and stuff, and then we'll swap out and do some pulls on the way back, and then kind of gather final thoughts. So one of the concerns whenever you are doing pulls is the front wheel coming up with bikes that have a certain amount of power. Now with both of these bikes, they do have enough power to lift up the front wheel, but they do have front wheel lift mitigation. You want to get on it?
Yeah.
Bro. What gear?
Oh my God, dude.
What gear were you in when you pulled? Second gear? Damn, really?
Yeah.
Bro, that thing has got torque on this thing like way sooner. Like I got on throttle pretty much at the same time.
Dude, that was sketchy. I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's in I'm pretty sure it's in sport mode too, right?
I see a yellow square with a road.
Oh, so it's in road mode, so that's not even the most powerful mode. So your mode button is on the top right by the starter. Right.
I see it.
Yeah, so if you touch mode, it should change it into...
Oh, yep, sport. There we go.
So,
nice. Should I go for it?
Sure. Damn, bro.
Oh my lord.
That bike is fast.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is legit. I definitely didn't get this like a test ride at a Harley-Davidson on the Sportster S. So I didn't get the sport mode or to get to really pull it anyway.
Dude, yeah, sport mode, man. It's like the power comes on like so much more aggressively, which is great, you know, if you're like really wanting to get on it. But if you're just like kind of leisurely riding, it does feel like it's a little on off, like sudden. With this, I guess sport mode would be like 1. A little easier would be like modes 2 and 3, and then rain mode would be 4. The Harley-Davidson Sportster S does have rain mode, which really tames the throttle a lot, like really kind of mutes and smooths out all your inputs. I would say that in sport mode is still manageable, but this in sport mode, like one mode, is
oh my god,
really just like not manageable. It's always wanting to pull up the front wheel. Like even in drive mode 2, it's still like wanting to pull up the front wheel all the time.
Yeah, this seems to be pretty instant.
Yeah. So basically what it does, since it's an electronic throttle instead of like fly-by-wire, it's sending a signal that requires less throttle twist for more throttle input.
I'm gonna give one pull here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop in a second though.
Bro, you are f***ing gone! There's no keeping up with you, man. Like...
Let's go! Dude, that is, I think I hit the rev limiter in third. I wasn't paying attention, I was just like hauling it.
Dude, I might have to drop it down into drive mode 1 to try to keep up with you on this thing. All right, I got it in drive mode 1.
Go ahead,
right.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1. Dude, I'm like topping it out too. I'm hitting rev limiter and it's like, and then I quick shift. So even with the quick shifter, like this bike is not keeping up with the Sportster S.
Oh my god, yeah, because I still have to like pull in the clutch and shift. And I'm on forward controls versus like on your bike, your feet are like back here to shift.
Upright, yep.
I'm like,
Bro, that is nuts, man. Like, dude, this bike is fast. The Sportster S is faster.
It's crazy, because I'm not going to lie. I was going to put my money on the MT-09 SP, dude. Now it's like, yo, this is stomach dropping.
I could probably start a gear lower just because it's taken like it a little bit to kind of climb.
Right.
But man, like you off the get, like you'll see in the footage, dude, you basically hit throttle and it's like, I'm like standing still. That's
crazy,
ridiculous.
Dude.
Yeah, I did not expect like that drastic of a difference in power delivery, honestly.
Right, that's insane.
Yeah, that thing's fast as
fast as boy. Still fast as boy.
Yeah, this thing's awesome, dude.
And it looks good too, man. I'm a real big fan of the aesthetic. I know a lot of people aren't, but dude, honestly, like I really love like the stance to it, and it just looks badass while it's rolling, man. Like in motion.
I think on picture before we seen it in person, I don't know if I was a big fan of it, and then now seeing it in person, I'm like, yo, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, it does have a more muscly stance to it, you know, especially with like the front wheel being a little
like that beefier front wheel.
Yeah. And like the fact that they like had the rim come in a little bit to like even add more visual presence to that tire.
Right.
But man, it's a great looking bike. I'd be really interested if we can like make it into like something that stands a bit taller, throw some mid controls, you know, like a Hibernaked, to where it feels a lot more ergonomically friendly. Oh check out this old school bike. Nice.
Dude, that's like the bike you see like when you watch lo-fi hip hop on YouTube. It's like an 8-bit version of that.
All right, you want to go ahead and give it a good pull?
Yep. All right, here we go.
I was not ready.
Dude, I wasn't either. My visor was up, my eyes were watering.
Yeah.
And the front one, I think, was just coming up. So it was like,
yeah, you can really feel the front on that. But
oh my god,
luckily
really
for you, TCS mode 2 on it.
Perfect.
I fell behind a good amount because I went to go quick shift and then I was like, no.
You're like, oh,
I was like, it doesn't have a quick shifter on it.
Yeah, two totally different worlds now. Like me being back on this, feeling like I'm like
way up high, right?
All the way up here. It does feel better. Like, I know we're not talking about too much about ergonomics, but having my feet here,
I mean, you look more comfortable.
Right.
I don't know, with the forwards, I don't feel cramped up at all, but I do feel like my back would be not as comfortable on long rides as compared to obviously like upright. In terms of ergonomics, they're not really comparable. You're talking about like a low slung cruiser, like a really like peppy engine versus like a naked upright with a really peppy engine. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Dude, that thing is freaking fast, bro.
How far are you back?
Dude, I was probably like 2 cars.
Damn, really?
Dang, dude, that's insane.
And even with me, I'm like 2 Justins. I'm a little over 2
Dude,
Justins. So the weight difference is very, very different.
I mean, this thing is obviously fast, but now after riding the Sportster S, that thing really like makes my stomach drop when I like really throttle it down.
Yeah, dude, it's because I feel like the power is just so fast. Like it is on so quickly.
Right.
Whereas like with the MT-09, like it takes a little bit to get there. Whenever you're in those mid to higher RPMs, it's definitely performing well, but this is like power all over the place. And the valve timing kicks in and it's just like continued. You can feel the valve timing kick in on this thing. It's like a light switch, not as significant as like an R6, because whenever it hits like the power band, it's just like, oh my God, there it is.
Yeah.
With this one, you can feel it, but it's still manageable.
Right, I agree.
So stomach dropping, huh?
I feel like it's like a video game, man, when like the sides are like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good description for it, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's got larger displacement, but like, I feel like it's just such a crazy thing to think of like, oh yeah, here's like a 1250 from Harley-Davidson, and you know, you've got like Yamaha, you know, they've been doing this like a long time, even though that engine is actually new for the 21s because they did increase the displacement on it. But like for Harley-Davidson to come out the gate like this, like, sheesh.
And this is like lighter too, right?
Yeah, much lighter, yeah.
Dude.
We'll have to put the weight numbers on the screen right here as well. I want to say that's a pretty decent amount lighter than the Harley-Davidson.
Yeah, man, whoever's getting the Sportster S, that's a good treat.
Right.
Want to get one?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you get ahead by a little bit.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1. Dude, I mean, I didn't get on throttle for like a bit after you going.
Oh my God. Damn.
That's awesome. And despite it being a lower bike with a larger wheelbase, the Sportster S still like handles really well because, you know, I've mentioned this in the previous video, but the shape of the front tire, as you guys can see, is like, it's conical. You know, it's more like this than like a normal profile tire. So real easy to like throw in and out of the leans. I continue to be surprised. I'm really eager or like looking forward to putting this thing up against the FTR. That's a future video that we have planned. So Sportster S versus FTR. All right, well, we're gonna hit this detour and then we will wrap up final thoughts while at the shop. All right, guys, we are here back at the shop. Just gonna wrap up our thoughts between the two bikes. So did a couple good pulls on them. I don't know, would say we went about 25 miles-ish. Pretty good ways, no highway speeds or anything like that. Bro, you are fucking gone. What we can tell you is, like, from a dig, how did you feel between the two?
Man, whoever has a Sportster S is just in for a treat. That thing is freaking fast.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, they're both really torquey bikes, but something about this thing that just launches you into outer space.
I like how you said, like, you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, kind of. You know, it's like, it's almost like whenever you you're on a roller coaster and like you drop suddenly. It's like whenever you hit throttle on this thing and it just like launches you. That's kind of the feeling, and it does feel like much faster than what you expect. I like the video game reference you made too, where everything is like a blur on the side. Damn, throwback. Of the two, which would you pick if you could have one?
Well, I like to go fast, so obviously I'm doing Sportster S.
Sportster S.
Again, before we went into this, I probably would have went with the MT-09, but now feeling the power of that, it's like insane.
Definitely a great offering from Harley-Davidson with the Revolution Max. I think obviously ergonomics, like we kind of keep saying they're not really comparable, but between the two, if these are like two bikes that you guys are looking at, you know, the ergonomics are quite a bit different between them. I would love if this had a quick shifter and an auto blipper, like to be able to like rev out to 9,500 and then just blip, quickly tap up to shift like you can on the MT-09. That's amazing. So the fact that this is as fast as it is, I think that would be a huge plus for it. Not as big a concern, but it is still nice to have. What other comparison points can we make between the two that you think might be insightful?
I guess we didn't do any like much braking when we were out there, but that would have been, I mean, because again, you have the dual disc inverted and then the single.
I think braking on the MT-09 feels better. Obviously you've got like another disc up front, but the fact that it's lighter weight too, it does feel like it stops a little bit better. But then also for the fact that you can downshift and use engine braking with the auto blipping, really lends itself well to braking and trail braking as well. While the braking isn't bad on the Sportster S, it does feel like it could be a little bit better. It's got Brembos on it too, so it's not like, you know, you got Brembo master calipers on the rears as well. So it ain't no slouch, but versus, yeah, no Brembos on this one. Braking is actually one of those things that is lacking from the factory with the Yamaha MT-09 SP. Yeah, there's a bunch of people that say you basically just have to change out the brake pads and then it'll be a much different different brake feel on that bike. So something we can probably address in the future. So I guess that's the comparison between the two guys. Both great bikes. Me personally, I prefer the ergonomics of the MT-09 SP. The power delivery is much different, as you guys can see. I'm not so obsessed with power because, you know, we've got Goldzilla over there. This thing does deliver it in like a very, very nice way. And with the ride modes, kind of customizable too. If you guys have any questions, do us a favor, post down in the comments below. Let us know, you know, in regards to these two. Big thanks to Justin James for the ride along. You guys be sure to go give him a follow at Iron J Moto. Next comparison video we're going to be doing with these against the Indian FTR. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Do us a favor if you did, hit the like button. Lets YouTube know we're doing a good job. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. Hit the bell icon also so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Till next time, ride safe, stay vigilant. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.